This is Fred Sullivan from up on East Road in Cornish, and Duane Allen from Burr Road in Cornish. And we're going to discuss the difference between early farming and what it is today. Okay, in your earliest memory, Fred, how many farms were in operation when your dad was farming?
In the town of Cornish?
Yes.
Oh, pretty near every other farm up and down the road. Everybody had a few milk cows.
Yeah.
Some of them weren't full-time farmers. They worked in the shop or Goodyear or Cone or something like that and milked a few cows. I would guess probably there were 25, 30 farms that made milk. They didn't ship much milk. They shipped maybe a jug, 2 jugs. That's 100 pounds of jugs, 100 pounds of milk. So maybe 200 pounds. Probably 25, 30.
When the town was first formed back in, what was it, 1663, 1763, everybody had a farm.
Oh yeah.
That's the only way they lived.
Yeah. A lot of them did other things besides farm. They
Yeah,
did,
carpentry,
yeah,
plumbing,
yeah.
blacksmith shopping,
Yeah.
mills. We used to have a lot of mills in town.
Lumbering, everybody did.
Yeah,
Cut some logs and
yeah.
also worked on the farm and shipped a few jugs of milk. We used to do milk truck used to come around in the spring of the year to pick up our milk, and we'd have to lug our milk to the nearest main road because the roads were so bad. In the middle of the winter when we had the blizzards and there was a lot of snow, we had to take it to the main roads because the trucks couldn't get in to pick them up.
Yeah.
That was all done then with milk jugs.
Dad used to take 20-quart cans down to St. Gordon's farm.
Yeah,
20 quarts?
40 quart, 40 quart.
I thought you said 20 quarts.
Yeah.
20
Couldn't-
quart.
You sure the short ones?
Used 20
The
quart.
short ones.
He had
The
20
short
quart
ones.
cans.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're cream cans. The 20 quart cans are the cream cans, and the
Oh.
40 quart cans are
Well,
the,
probably they were 40
yeah,
then.
we guess.
I
Could,
don't know.
could you pick them up for me?
Empty, yes. Oh, dear. When your father was operating, when you were little, how many cows did he have?
When my dad moved to the farm in Plainfield, he moved down with 2 horses and 5 cows.
You know what year that was?
1942.
Oh, yeah.
He worked on a farm up there. He didn't own the land, he just worked up there. My mother was a school teacher in Plainfield, and he met her there, and they were married and lived on a farm in Plainfield. And farmed there, and then when he found this farm down here in Cornish, he moved down with 2 horses and 5
How many
cows.
cows? How many
Now,
cows? How many cows did he milk?
5.
5.
2 horses and 5 cows.
And then he
My mother, he was a big farmer at the time. All he did was farm. No, he cut logs also. He went back in the woods to cut logs in the daytime. And my mother was a school teacher. She taught school.
I remember her, Bertha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a good sized farm at then at 5 cows. And
Yeah,
most
right.
people just had 1 or 2 cows, and he had 5. So that's
Well, when I was growing up, I was born 1920, and Dad always had about 12 cows that he milked. And then young cattle, and always had a bull,
yeah.
and so forth. How many did you have when you first came?
I don't know when I did that, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know when I moved up here from the river,
Uh-huh.
up here, I don't know.
Did you
Yeah.
farm down on the river too?
No, not much. I worked in the shop a lot. Yeah. I worked in the shop when I was up here too, but see, I moved up here in '59 up on Burr Road,
Oh, yeah.
and I worked in the shop to '66. When I got out to the, couldn't stand to go more. I think I know what it was when I moved up here, but I wouldn't dare to say.
Did you have horses?
No, I was smart.
Dad always had horses.
I used to drive horses when I was, when I was in the 8th grade or so I did.
Yeah.
We had horses on the farm for, close till 1915, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
Then we got our first tractor.
I can remember driving the horses for haying way back when I was 9 or 10 years old. you
Yeah.
know.
I used to do it with my brother when we got next same thing.
Used to ride them when I was old enough to ride the horses, while Dad cultivated the corn. Dad would walk behind in the cultivator, and I'd steer the horse up and down the rows.
We had a horse rake to take the hay up into the barn.
Yeah.
Used to have to pull the horse
Oh,
out.
with the
Horse
hay
fork.
forks there.
Yeah,
With the hay forks, yeah.
hay forks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
I was hunting this winter, and we met up back at the farm up on the Grierson, Larry
Oh,
Garrettson farm. And we were standing in a bunch of Grover pines, and the pines were probably 20 feet tall, maybe a foot and a half in diameter. And I turned to my son and the other boys and said, "You won't believe me, but we made hay in this field."
For goodness sake.
Larry Garrison. I can just remember doing it because I was just old enough to get in my mother's and father's way all the time. But I can remember them raking the hay up in the windrows with a horse rake and tumbling the hay.
Yeah.
And I can still picture my mother with a bull rake. She had the big teeth bull rake.
Oh, I used to use that.
Running between the tumbles of hay and raking the hay. Because when you hayed back in them days, you didn't leave a stitch of hay in the field. You took everything.
Right,
Yeah.
right up next to the
Yeah.
fence row too.
Oh, yeah.
Pitched it on.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't, the boys couldn't believe it, that the trees would be that tall. I'm just a young fella now, so it's kind of.
I know it. But people today, they leave so much hay in the field and they don't cut near the fence rows. And so the bushes keep crawling
going
in
in.
and crawling in.
Yeah, they do.
Your field gets smaller and smaller every year.
Yeah,
Back when old Eben Farnsworth used to work for us part-time cutting brush, that was his job. He'd go around the edge of the fence rows and clean out everything right back to
I
the
remember
stone
when
wall.
he did that for the,
And old Tom Scruton used to do it for Dad
Yeah.
for us. I think it was $3 a week
Yeah,
and
we
his
gave
dinner.
we gave him the wood, Eben for doing it, gave him the wood, and he'd split the wood with us. He'd give us half the wood, and he'd take the other half. But he cleaned everything right back to the stone walls, right into the brush cutters. He just loved doing that kind of work.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
pile all his brush,
Yeah.
laid all the butts on the elk, and made beautiful brush piles.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Cut a 4-foot piece of wood, and if the wood wasn't 4 foot long, he threw it away. He wouldn't put a piece of wood into the pile unless it was 4 feet long. Everything in his pile was just perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. He's a perfectionist.
Yeah, he
Who
anyway.
was
Yeah,
it?
true.
Stan Colby or some of the selectmen used to rave about Betty Macy down there, Elizabeth Macy on Platte Road, because she had a pile of wood outdoors,
Yeah.
and it was just like this on both
Perfect.
sides.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Somebody had to be real careful when they sawed that
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah.
Get it
We
just
something
so
else,
long.
man. I don't know.
Saw with a yardstick. Did you have sheep and hens and ducks and pigs and all that too, or did you just have cows?
We had chickens, just a few chickens, not very many, just enough of the eggs. I would say maybe a dozen chickens, but they didn't last very long. I can't remember I must have been in grade school when the chickens finally disappeared. My father did not like chickens at all, and my mother took care of the chickens most of the time. Seemed like chickens draw rats. So finally, we had the chickens for dinner one day. It was over.
That was the end.
That was the end of that.
That's the end of the chickens, man.
Right.
Yeah, we
Well,
had
we do now, but we never raised pigs. My dad never raised pigs.
Huh.
Never had sheep, goats.
We always raised 2 pigs a year and had 1 or 2 cows all the time the children were growing up,
No, my dad never had any pigs. I can't.
in the 40s and 50s. Did you ever strip your cows out after the machine got through milking?
Oh yes, when you first started with the milk machines, that was everybody stripped the
Yep,
cows.
they did.
And
Yeah.
nowadays you just
Yeah.
you check the cow, and make sure she's milked out nowadays. But back then you get done milking, then you go in and strip.
Yeah.
And
We used to
That
have
was
to
all.
do that.
all
Me too.
Yeah.
True.
How many sheep do you have, Duane?
I don't have a sheep.
Linda does, yes.
That's right. I don't like them.
Well, they're on your farm.
I know, but I don't like them.
How many does she have?
Oh boy, about 20, 25.
20.
All told.
Does she dye her own yarn?
Nope, she sends it all to Bartlett up in Maine.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. She had quite a lot there at the bazaar. And it was, oh, I just love to see
Don't
it.
have nothing to do with sheep. You had some one time.
No, we had a sheep when we had the fire.
When you
Yeah,
had the
but
fire.
no, we had after
73.
I took the farm with my father. Then we kept hogs, and we kept sheep. You know, we lost the sheep. in
You
the
lost
fire.
the sheep in the fire,
In
didn't
the
you?
fire,
Yeah.
yeah, we lost the sheep.
Yeah.
And the kids have had goats and horses and all the way up through.
Yeah.
And we raise pigs all the time. Right now we don't have a pig, but we raise pigs all the time because we take the milk. We have so many cows having calves, the calves can't use all the milk, so we just take that milk and feed the pigs, and that raises great pigs. So.
It's a good way to raise them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When we first bought this house in '48, we could look right over there on the hill and we'd see deer walking around.
Yeah.
There were bear that would go across the whole length of the top of the hill there and back, you know, at night. And that's when Charlie Sullivan had cattle in the pasture there.
Yeah.
Right.
Who owned it then, Fred?
On this over here?
Yeah.
Hunt, Harry Hunt.
Oh, Harry Hunt? But what would the where Kearns lives now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because Andy used to come up behind there too, didn't he?
And it goes up through right about, even back to the store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Bernice, Conitz folks had a stretch of land in there too, where
Yep. 10-acre lot or
Yeah.
something.
we bought that. And then that's been sold, you know, Webb owns it now.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, that one, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Who owns it now?
Webb,
Webb?
but back at the old homestead over there, Conitz folks lived.
Oh, yeah.
They turned around, bought the land, so it's all gone back into the farm now. We own the land, the tillable land, but they bought the forest land or something. Yeah, it's funny how things come around and go back into
Yeah.
the family again, or the old homestead falls back together again, where it gets all apart and it starts to come back together again.
Yeah. I know it. You look at the early pictures and the land was all clear. And that was because back in the 1800s, everybody had sheep and cattle
Yep.
and pastured them all around, and it kept the brush down.
Bob LeClaire lived up where the Clares live on the first plateau there, going up East Road. I had a picture of looking from this way over on the towards Cuba's farm over that way, and I said, "Boy, that mountainside is covered with rocks in it." And Bob says, "That ain't rocks. I'm a sheep."
No kidding.
That whole mountainside was just
I didn't
spotted.
think I
It
knew.
looked like white rocks, and it wasn't a good photograph for that time of year, and for that back in that era.
Yeah.
And it just looked like sheep everywhere. There was sheep. Everything was gone because the sheep cleaned that brush
Yeah.
right up.
Clean it right
There's
up.
nothing any better than the sheep to clean up the land.
Yeah.
And they just had them everywhere.
Who owned all the sheep? Everybody?
I guess all the farmers
Oh.
around it then. I don't know.
That was before my time.
That was before my time too.
The early history of the Windsor Covered Bridge, the Cornish Covered Bridge to Windsor, I mean,
Right.
it told how many sheep, thousands of sheep, that were driven through there
Yeah.
to go to Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, get over on the train.
And
Catch
they
the
must,
train.
yeah, to take them to the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And load them in, and they probably butchered them in Boston somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Slaughterhouses down there.
Huh.
Well, there's a lot to go to the woolen mills in Lebanon and down south, right? In Manchester and those areas too.
Mhm.
A lot of the wool went down there.
Yeah, we used to have woolen mills in
And Queechee.
Claremont and Newport. Wasn't there a woolen mill in Newport too?
It still is in Newport.
Yeah.
Is that one still going in Claremont?
Hmm?
Is the woolen mill in
I
Claremont still
think
going?
so. They call it flock, don't they?
No, that's a different thing. That's a different thing altogether.
Was it?
That was woolen in Claremont.
Yeah, that's
Is
woolen.
that still going?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but
I don't think it is now.
I don't know. I know.
Wool isn't worth much, and you don't make much money on sheep.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Everybody wants to cotton now.
Yeah. The biggest market on sheep is the baby lambs at Easter time. What they call it Greek Easter.
Oh, yeah.
And that market is
That's
still good.
That's good.
But if you don't hit your care, get your lambs lambing at that time of year, then you miss out and you don't make the money on sheep.
Yeah. A leg of lamb and some mint jelly. That's Easter.
I don't like lamb.
I don't care for the taste of
I don't
lamb.
like it either.
Huh.
A lot of people do.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people like lamb, but I don't like this stuff.
I can remember when Ronnie and Robin was small and we were up at your farm, Duane,
You what?
and Ronnie walked out on the ramp that you took,
Okay. Now I remember.
where you took the manure
Yeah, I
out,
remember.
and he walked right off the end of the ramp because he thought it was grass, and he said it was manure.
Yeah, right.
I turned this off for a minute. Hello?
No, right, yeah, moving.
Pardon?
Don't go out on that
Oh, damn.
that manure pile, because we got now the manure pile we have is a great big lagoon,
Yeah.
and it was all crusted over, and it didn't. It looked like hard walking out through there. And so he was shooting some pigeons out back, and we heard some howling, went back, and the kids had walked out onto that. They were in clear their armpits ready to kill them.
Yeah, but how deep was it then, Freddie? So they would have gone under.
Oh, they could have gone under,
That's
they
what I
walked out
wondered,
very
yeah.
fast. And that, right after that, we built a fence around it so that we could get out in there. But we had to haul them out, because coming over, just like quicksand, it
Oh,
sucks
yeah.
you right out and trying to pull you out.
That's what Ronnie did. We
Yeah,
I remember.
put him on the tailgate in the truck and brought him home, and then we used to hose him off.
He wasn't in too good a shape, was he, Bernie?
Next time I see Ronnie.
There you go.
He grew a lot right after that.
Maybe that's what made him grow so good, huh?
Oh dear. What about federal forms and state forms and all that in farming? You didn't used to have that at all, did you?
Everything was done back in my dad's time, in my early time, with a handshake.
Yeah.
Those days are gone, it's too bad.
Can't trust anybody anymore.
It's too bad, everything was done. You honored your neighbor, and your neighbor honored you, but we can't, things just aren't that way anymore.
Now, can I say, interrupt here, Bernie? Now, I think to a point, Freddie's right, but I've never been out of paper.
No,
You
well,
think, like, you know what I mean there, but a lot of people expect Freddie said, you gotta watch them.
You got to know
Really?
who you're gonna do business
That's right.
with, and some people surprise, you.
I'll turn it off again. Bernice Johnson? Hello? Bernice Johnson?
But they called her right back again.
Hello?
Yeah, we're going to get that.
Nobody
You know what, I hate
there.
that, when they ring it, and somebody on the other end, but they won't answer. I think they're calling half the time just to make sure somebody's there. Because if they're not there 2-3 times, you better watch out.
Yeah.
They're gonna be coming in.
Yeah, makes you, especially when you live alone, it makes you
That's
feel
right.
funny.
Makes you feel funny.
You
wouldn't
hear
it? Yeah.
too many phone calls and nobody
Uh.
says anything, and you know they don't hang up.
Nope.
So they gotta be there.
Right.
So yeah.
You have to watch it.
Yeah,
Well, I was wondering about the federal forms. Do you have a lot of stuff you have to fill in and send in to the state or the federal government?
and now, yes we do. We have to get permits for everything. In order to turn soil in a wet area, we have to get permits to do it now.
Huh.
Anywhere that,
Wetland.
that wetland, or not really wetlands. Do you consider Cornish Flat a wetland? I don't consider
Even though it's
wetland.
not near a brook or something?
Every time we move this field down here, or mod hunts,
Really?
we have to get a permit to move it. Every year we renew the permit. What we do, we send the forms and say we are gonna move the land. The federal government considers Cornish Flat a wetland. And so,
Just because it used to be a lake bed, huh?
it's they're real strict on moving soils.
But it's dry as a bone.
Oh, tell me about it. It's totally ridiculous. Oh, you've seen days out there when we've been mired in the mud clear our elbows, but
Oh, yeah.
we get stuck in that field many times.
Well, out in the back of our field is a place that Conan always wanted to make a pond, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fish pond or something, because it was always wet. I planted my first 2 apple trees out there.
But they didn't drown?
No, they didn't live here because of the wet.
Yeah,
Their feet were wet all the time. I didn't realize how wet it was.
One of our major setbacks in agriculture is trying to drain land now. We just can't get permits to get in, and they give us such a hard time. We own the land going out of Cornish Flat, going north on Cornish Flat there, and those ditches, they need to be cleaned out. And we've been waiting for 2 years to get a permit in order to clean them out. They come in and they do an environmental impact study on it, to see how many birds it's gonna kill and how much fish it's gonna kill, and it's totally ridiculous. That's one of our biggest problems in farming, is the paperwork that we have to do
Yeah.
nowadays to get permits to go. And
They complain about the red tape, and yet every year they have more forms to be filled out and more arguments.
Stupid.
the biggest share of farming does his work is in the summertime and when good weather is, and that's when the Bearcats are on vacation.
Yeah.
And they won't fill the forms out. The answer will come back, but this department's on vacation now, and we just get no results from you. You'll have to wait till winter to get your results. They come and do their studies in the wintertime.
And that holds you up on
Oh,
your
yeah.
farming.
That's right. Yeah. So we have to plan, in order to be a farmer now, you have to plan at least a year ahead of what you're gonna do, so you can get the ball rolling.
Huh. How many acres of corn do you have planted every year.
I plant 100, how much you give yourself in?
The shed doors open.
Oh, I plant around 100 acres every year. It's on land we own and land we rent together. And it takes,
You don't grow any oats or wheat or,
now we grow some cover crops. We'll have oats at some time when we put a new seeding in, something like that, but very little. We, mostly it's all corn and grass. Our basic diet for our cows is corn, haylage, and hay. You want to get in the picture too, huh? Introduce the dog to everybody.
oh yeah, this is Lucky Lady. And she's just plain lucky she's alive. If she runs away from home anymore, I'm
Oh, she still does, Bernie? She was up to Robbins there when you were gone there. She came down and helped twice.
She did?
Yeah, yeah,
With Gertie?
with Gertie.
Yeah.
But Gertie would stay home. It'd be all right. Gertie's terrible about that. Robbins says the same thing. You know, when one of those dogs was down too.
She went down with Gary LeClaire's dog was here yesterday. They were playing and they went down and played with Elizabeth's dog, Elizabeth Buckley's. Then they all went down to the flat. Well, the others went home, but Lucky Lady stayed down there to help sell Christmas trees. And finally, Shirley called me up. I went down and got her, and I chained her out here for quite a while to punish her. And then I brought her in the house, and then she wanted to go out about an hour later, and I let her out. First thing I knew, she was gone again. And this time she was down by the bank, and Robin and the boys were there, and so they had her, and I brought her back, and I said, boy, hereafter, bad girl.
Yeah, get run over.
Yeah,
Yeah. You bad Bruce?
well,
Remember that one? Remember that one, Bruce?
anything
Bernie?
else? Huh?
Remember that one?
What?
Time Bruce got hit with a car down there? When he was in school, high school?
Kind of boot? Oh,
No,
yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
got run over by an automobile down on 120. Well, he didn't get run over, but he got
Oh,
hit.
yeah.
Your son?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was when they were in grade school.
I had the twins on their potties, on the chairs here in the kitchen, and Dot Thornton called up, Bernie, Bruce just got run over. I said, what? A car just ran over Bruce. Can you come down?
Can I come down?
So I called Selma Lovejoy across the street, and she came over and she
Yeah.
stayed with him.
Kids,
And I went down, took him to the hospital.
I remember that. I remember the time he fell in the fire up on Grantham Mountain too.
Yeah,
And they took him down over the backside into Newport Hospital.
burned his sneaker and his
Fell
sock
right
and
into the
pants.
fire, yeah.
They had to take him to Newport
Yeah,
Hospital.
down over the backside.
Everyone was fighting forest fire?
That wasn't the big fire.
Oh.
That was the last, well, I went up there with those at that time.
He was 13. He was
He wasn't
born
very
in
old.
52, so that would have been
65.
65.
We couldn't find the fire Bruce found it. He fell into it.
Huh.
Let me play it back and see if it worked.